So I'm Sean van Zyl from Fort Govener's private game ranch in the Eastern Cape. We are between Port Elizabeth and East London on the N2, and we operate an open range ranch of over 10,000 hectares. I've been in this industry. I got my professional hunter's license from 18. I've been hunting, so over 23 years of hunting, and then I've been with different companies, but we started this Fort Govener's 10 years ago. When we took over Fort Govener's, we had a huge issue here with alien invasives, being the black wattle from Australia, Samahackia and the prickly pear and so on. So we started off cutting it manually with chainsaws, and we had about 20 or 30 chainsaw teams with chainsaws, 4 in a team cutting, and then we used to send the timber to Pietermaritzburg to try and cover the cost so that we weren't doing it for nothing. And that we did probably about 500 hectares like that. After that it was taking too long, and the timber was a little bit tricky and the areas, so then we started cutting it or pushing it out of the bulldozer and an excavator. In total we've done close to about 1,000 hectares. We've got about 3,000 hectares. This is one of the 2 charcoal plants we have on Fort Govener's, and they do about 3 interlinks of biochar a month. I think it's around 10 to 15 tons of timber to get 1 ton of charcoal. So it's a really good ratio when you're trying to clear all this invasive exotic that we have. This is a big part of the job creation. It's quite labor intensive. You're felling it with chainsaws. You have 1 chainsaw operator and then 3 chaps that work with him. So with the 2 charcoal plants and the bush clearing, we've created about 70 jobs. It's BE run, so it's local guys that run it, and most of the guys stay in Grahamstown or come from a similar around this area, and this can carry on for probably about another 5-6 years. Yeah, so what we do is we find areas like behind me now. You'll see it's quite badly eroded. So we've got mobile crawls, portable crawls, and we'll move the crawl to these areas. And that's where the goats will sleep at night time. Because we've got 0 fences on the whole ranch, the goats would be able to move everywhere. So we herd them here at night time, and then they'll spend the time here. The hoof action, the dung, the urine wakes the soil back up and fertilizes the soil. And we find within 2-3 weeks, you'll find, after you've moved the crawl, you'll find the regrowth coming back. There's a spot just behind you where they were, and we can show you there. The manure is about 1 centimeter thick, and all that food and compost and everything is going straight into soil, and it is a really good action to do it. And then from these crawls we'll move the boer goats to a designated fenced area where the young wattle is, and they'll pressure graze that. We're trying to do like 5 or 10 groups, so probably I'd say 50 to 60 hunters. We're trying to have it sustainable enough. You know, we utilize what is naturally from Fort Govener's, and we're finding quite a nice balance. We hunt about 10 buffalo bulls a year, 10 to maybe 12. We got over 200 buffalo. Our game numbers are really high. Our carrying capacity is really good. We're a little bit understocked, but we'd rather be running at about 70% than a bit higher than that, because this area is susceptible to droughts. You know, locals must always be able to see their own thing. You know, you can't just come here and make it so that no locals can come here. So we have different prices for local guys staying in our cottages. Local guys get local rates, and then internationals, of course, we have to make up for it. But the internationals carry the costs of the running of Fort Govener's.